Okay, we have one over here and one over here.
Fight it out.
He has not asked anybody yet, so I'll go over here first. I have the mic. I will hand it over.
You know, I have a big problem with all these crossing the brands. Why? I mean, I don't like it. I'll be honest with you. I don't like it at all. I mean, I get it what they did, what Marvel did back in the 80s with G.I. Joe and Transformers, but I know that it's their brand, but trying to create a universe and then from there spin it off, why, dude?
So
why
it's
mess
a great
something
way
that's already
to
good?
launch something by taking a popular brand, putting in a little nugget of something else, and then seeing how well people react to that. It's a great launching pad. It's a very affordable launching pad. True, but you know, as a kid, you know what? I'm gonna back up. So Joaquin, anybody watch Voltron on Netflix? Yeah. Joaquin directed G.I. Joe Resolute, and I pitched him a story, and we did some test animation for this. I kid you not, we did some in-house test animation for this. I pitched him a story of G.I. Joe versus Transformers. And the way it opens up is, you're on a plane, red light goes off, Wild Bill's at the helm, you've got Duke and Snake Eyes and Stalker and Scarlet. And this was John Bresman, Andy Schmidt, and myself put this together. And Tyler Scarlett, who's now at Lucasfilm, did the animation. And the red light goes off and they all jump. There's stuff blowing up around them, clouds whisking through them, and as the clouds part, then you see Cybertron. It was them invading Cybertron, because Optimus had called them there, because Cobra Commander had built his Terradrome around Shockwave's base, and then the Dreadnoughts were like cyborgs, and G.I. Joe is a complicated issue, because G.I. Joe is a baby war brand. It cannot compete with Halo, it cannot compete with Call of Duty. Those are very violent and aggressive brands. That is not what Hasbro is. So there are restrictions on G.I. Joe, which is why I think it's good that they're going with the Snake Eyes story angle for future film development. The G.I. Joe team wanted the crossover. We wanted to do toys, transforming toys where G.I. Joe figures can fit in them. The Transformers team didn't need it. Transformers, the worst selling Transformers sold 10 times better than the best selling G.I. Joe. They didn't need it. And the only thing that ever came out of it were their San Diego Comic-Con exclusives.
All right, we are at the 9-minute mark. So if you've been debating whether or not you wanted to ask a question, I'd suggest you make up your mind now. Here we go.
Okay, this was actually asked by one of my friends, but was there ever ideas for Rumble and Frenzy, or Frenzy Rumble in the Bayverse or Primeverse? Was that ever brought up?
No, there was, no. Hard no. Hard no. Yeah, there were toys, but those toys for Rumble and Frenzy were based off an MMOG from China, I believe NetDragon, which never came out. I was fortunate enough to go to China for 2 weeks, work on the game, and then it never came out. So Thundertron was in that game, Rumble Frenzy were in the game, Ironhide was in the game. That's where that Ironhide came from. That, I think it was Sergeant Cup in the US. So.
All right, arms up. So I've got 1, 2, 3
man
people.
Right here.
We'll start with you.
I've chosen him.
Okay. All right, so I'm officially saying I saw 3 hands. Am I missing anybody? Okay.
All right, this is a hypothetical, since you were involved with a lot of the media. If you were gonna do a Transformers 7 movie, if you were involved in it, and you already had that Easter egg of Unicron being planet Earth, how would you attack that story because you can't blow up the Earth?
I would get the crew from the Last Stand of the Wreckers to go in and kill the spark of Unicron. And in doing so, they each die. And I would get Nick Roach and James Robert involved.
Okay, who else was there? Okay, there was Mike in the back and Josh over here. Okay.
I think they're actually asking for high fives. I don't think they have questions.
So earlier you mentioned how a lot of the other characters in Transformers Prime got upgrades in Beast Hunters, and we saw that in the toys. And the toys seem to have some influence of Beast Wars characters. Was there any plans to actually do repaints as those Beast Wars characters?
No, but now that you say it, it would have made a cool Bakon set.
Yeah, I did hear they had plans, but...
Yeah, no. That's a good idea.
So we ended up in Transformers Prime with Airachnid having this weird hypnotic control over all our Insecticons, and then getting the zombie vampire virus thing, and then all of them getting stranded on the moon. What was the plan going forward with that idea?
So there was a definite plan. So before the final episodes got drastically reworked, the idea was that Megatron was going to find her on the moon, and he was going to take her as his queen. And together they would lead an army of zombified Insecticons to Cybertron to invade and wipe out everyone except Knockout.
Can you define take as queen?
Make her his bride.
Would she have survived or died?
Would he have survived? I don't know. Have you ever been married? I have. I'm still on my first one, but geez.
Okay, we have 5 minutes, so anybody who didn't make up their mind? Okay, I see you in the back.
Of course, it's all the way in the back.
Okay, so I see Mike in the back. Did I see anybody else?
Cybertronium?
Okay.
Whose idea was that?
Not mine.
I've always wanted to know if at the end of Revenge of the Fallen, when Optimus combines with Jetfire and Jolt does the job, was that a nod to Armada?
No,
Consciously?
that was, hey, there's a really cool car called Volt coming out. Let's give this guy something to do in the 2 scenes that he's in.
Hey,
That's where that came from.
fair enough.
And the first time I saw the artwork for Optimus and Jetfire, it was the final artwork for Optimus and Jetfire combined, like flying over the pyramids. I think it was the week before the first movie came out. That's how far in advance they were working on it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank
Hey,
you so much.
We got one last question.
Oh, one last question?
So with the Prime toys, when they first came out, you had these like first edition versions, and then you had the regular, like you almost remade another RC, another regular Bumblebee, and stuff like that. So is that like because we weren't happy with the first ones, you made second ones, or just Russian production?
No, we were super excited about the first ones. But at that point, the contract between Hasbro and Takara had been renegotiated. And there was still fallout from the Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime. Being it, have you ever tried to transform that thing? You know how many letters we got from parents? That toy, in conjunction with rising cost, oil, plastics, manufacturing, labor issues, and at the time, the contract with Takara and Hasbro had to be renegotiated. It was renegotiated for less parts in the toys, which led to more intuitive transformation. Hey guys, thank you so much. I want to leave you with a few words. Look, we're all different. We all come from different places. We all have our own ideas. Let's try and find the area in the middle where we can all agree and be kind to each other. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for your help.